Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Mystic Crow Tarot. I'm so happy that you decided to join me in my video today on your journey to whatever it is that you're seeking. I ask that in the process of this reading that you keep an open mind and know that I cannot possibly read for every single Aquarius out there, whether it's sun, moon, or rising. And it's just not possible. So take the whole reading as a whole, take little parts of it. If you're cross-watching your sign, sun, moon, rising, or maybe watching for someone else, maybe there's also a message in there too. So always think outside of the box and know that this is a psychic medium and intuitive oracle reading. So there's going to be some really specific things that come through. And then there's going to be some pretty general things that come through. But let's not delay this reading. Aquarius, this is your reading for mid-September 2017. So the first thing that came to me when I actually pushed start to record on this was there's a huge project that's coming to an end, and project could mean anything. This could mean a home. This could mean work. This could mean a betterment, any kind of project that you've been working on, whatever it is that's your type of project, that I feel like this is kind of coming to an end, and not as if it's coming to like a halt type of end, but it's coming to an end because I feel like you've put the work in. Just be prepared if this is something, because I also feel like this has to do with somebody that is consistently doing the same thing. Just know that it's coming to a time where you may be shifting gears, and it might be time to allow somebody else to kind of take over a little bit of responsibility for part of what you're doing, because they're saying this is this time. And again, November comes up, and I'm doing this reading, and I actually don't even know astrologically what's coming up in November. I was just so excited to get these readings going. So whatever it is that's taking place in November for all of the signs, the moon-wise, planetary alignment, it's really like I got the word like lock and load. It's really lock and load time for this. So congratulations on a project that you've worked really hard on. And the other thing that I got was just, I wanted to cry, and not because I was scared or fearful. I wanted to cry because it was such an emotion to see something, or this is how I feel anyways, that it was, so I was emotional because I was very happy to see something, a lot of hard work and dedication, and I'm tired, and I'm just getting everything put together. So hold on tight and allow other people to assist you. And because after this project, you're going to need some time to regroup. And I'm talking regroup in a major way, because it is time for, like I said, they're saying this again, somebody else to kind of take over the reins a little bit and allow yourself some time to replenish. Okay, because your existence is not only about what this project has or means or has to offer for you. It has to do with a cycle. Okay, so know that you have served your purpose, and allow other people to start assisting you. And they keep saying slow down, pull it back a little bit, because at times they're saying that just because you might feel overwhelmed at times doesn't mean that that's how other people take it. So they're saying like, excuse me, they're saying slow down, pull the reins back a little bit. You don't need to push so hard anymore, okay? So that's kind of specific for somebody out there. So those are the first couple things that came to me. They're also giving me the color excuse me, purple. I'm so sorry about clearing my throat. It is what it is. They're giving me the color purple. For some of you, this color is going to ring really true to you, close and personal, whatever it is. I say the color purple, you know exactly what it means to you. For other people, this is going to be dealing with your third eye. So whatever it is that's been taking place in the last couple months, whether you've been working on a project or whether you're doing something else, Aquarius, this has to do with whatever has taken place and has transpired, transitioned in the last couple of months. It's really opened your eyes to a different way of being, to experiencing life. So I feel like some of you out there are really looking, as far as relationship wise, really looking at maybe your partner or your situation and really looking at if you're happy and fulfilled. So I also want to put this out there as some of you, you know, again, this is general. So some of you may be on the way to leaving a relationship, or whether the relationship is work, personal, what have you. But I also can sense that for some of you, these are just emotions. So if this is something that's coming up for you, if this is a cycle that keeps replaying itself, there's no need anymore to start to either like dissect the crap out of it. It's just all you need to do is acknowledge it. So you've been overthinking these things. And the simple thing is when they come up, you acknowledge, I acknowledge this. And I release this. So for some of you, and again, this project could even be a project that you've had going on with your awakening, or so you take this as you want to, however it applies. But they're saying, well, rein things back, Aquarius, just a little bit and take kind of a deeper look. Don't freak out. Don't overreact. Don't get anxious. Okay? Take a deep breath. Breathing exercises, they're saying. So with the color purple, again, going back to that, having it connect with the third eye, they want you to take a deeper look at things, okay? Slowing down and becoming meditative is something that's going to be very important to do, I think, for 2018. So also, I have the name William coming through. And they're saying, this would be William's father, and he's saying that 2018 is going to be a very important time for you, so be very prepared, William. And I actually feel as if William, this is not William in the United States, this is William in perhaps England or the UK, Britain, somewhere in that area. Maybe all of those areas. And William, that does not mean that if you're in the United States and you needed to hear this message, that it does not apply to you. However, they're telling me to be very specific about this, so that's what I'm doing. And so right at this point now, I am working with the Enlightenment pack, which is by Chuck Spezzano, illustrated by Allison Joy. It's something that I've inherited through one of my sisters, and never really used the pack, but I wanted to give it a shot today for using as clarifying. So as usual, I pick out 2 cards for clarifying. And so at this point, this is what I'm feeling. The name William came up. And I usually just pull the clarifiers, flip them over when I'm nudged. So let's do that right now. And I get the number 21. Number 21. So we can also see this is going to be, can also mean like the meaning of number 3, because 2 plus 1 is 3. I get also, they're giving me the word, and sometimes this just comes in. So I'll get back to the number 3 here, but I'm also getting the word apricot, but I feel like it's more of either a flavor a flavor. I don't know if this is a lip gloss flavor, whoever this is they're talking to about this. But they give me the word apricot, and then, they bring my site into, apricot into my site. But then the more as I say that, I feel like it's somebody, I don't know if somebody was wearing apricot lip gloss. So, William, this might be for you. Maybe this is for somebody else, but there is something, and I have goosebumps all on my right side. So I feel like this is a very feminine aspect. So for whatever reason, that is coming through. So whoever that is for, I feel like it's very specific, and know that we can also have parallel lives. So I remember apricot lip gloss from when I was a kid. So this could apply to a lot of different people, but for some of you, it's really going to hit, it's really going to give you a love wash, I think, when you hear this. But back to beautiful number 3. Let's see. So here's what I feel like with the number 3, how it's pertaining in this specific reading. This is also an unconscious card. So this is something this is at a soul level. And it says it's the dark story, but for me, it would be like a dark night. And so through every pain, we find purpose, or that's how it should be, to make it all worth it, right? But I'm seeing something about, this has to do with past life and karmic ties for some of you Aquarians out there. William, this could be for you too. I don't know. So I always welcome comments, but I'm getting where sort of from the beginning, there have been things that have been rocky and rough, and things have not been easy. I'm seeing the death of a parent. I'm seeing foster care. And I'm seeing somebody who feels like they had drowned in the system. And I also feel a mother energy coming through. I also feel this mother energy is bringing through her very strong African American lineage. And I feel like backed with that is a very strong spiritual hunger and thirst and grounding, because I also get that third eye, so this connecting with that color purple. But I feel like there were battles. And whoever this is for, there's also a very Roman type of energy. But it goes further than that. I feel like what we're dealing with is perhaps the strength of King Arthur's sword, the swift sword of Archangel Michael. And so I feel like whatever is coming up again in November, whatever it is astrologically, I should have really looked that up for you guys, but that's why we have Google. But I feel like this sword, it's just this karmic caca, should I say, is over. Okay? But again, this is free will, so we have to be very, very careful about how we play our cards. Because if you're only putting negative out there, this could mean something a little more harsh than just cutting ties. Sometimes that sword, that cord cutting, can be really difficult. It can be very painful. Even if it's something that was meant to be and you know that you're going to get relief from it. But you also, if this is resonating with somebody who is trying to experiment with cord cutting, just know that if you cross that line with doing anything like this, that there can be some upheaval for a while. Because you're battling and going against free will. Okay? So for others of you, this dark story is talking about taking this dark story and giving it some life. You're the physical embodiment of this dark story. But they're talking about giving it life. So whether you're writing a short story, writing poetry, whatever it is, I feel like there's writing. There's art involved in this. Get yourself disciplined. Slow down. Pull back the reins a little bit, Aquarius. And start focusing on the things that is going to bring you prosperity without you losing your mind because you've got so much going on. It's keeping everybody else in such a high vibrational place, giving your energy away, but not allowing it to come back to you. That just doesn't, that's not going to work. You've got to get yourself in a very disciplined way, in a very healthy way, transitioned from the end of this project into a new way of thinking. Okay? There is a life out there that doesn't have to be where you feel vulnerable and moody and overworked. Like you have to fight for everything. It's time to understand that. Beautiful Aquarians, just know that you don't have to constantly fight with things because you're losing your energy, and I feel like financially things will start coming in. So when we start looking at this number 3 and see that it has something to do maybe with career choices, projects, passions, that once you start putting a creative spin to your dark story, there's some beautiful things that can come out of it, and you're actually sharing your story and not pushing. Your story has already happened. So for you to take your story, because we all have one, and you want to create things and you keep striving, you keep going, you keep pushing, you're going to be exhausted. They're saying it's time now to take your story, your dark night, your experiences, and put them together. Become focused here. Okay? Focused and channeling creativity tends to not make us as moody. And you guys are super led by the moon. This is what they're telling me here. I'm not an astrologer. So they're saying you tend to scatter your energies, not specifically because you don't know how to do otherwise, but because you have a lot going on. So no matter what the scattered energy is, pull the reins back, Aquarian, because that is what it is about for you the last couple of weeks, and looking into the first couple of weeks of October too, because some of these weeks will blend. Okay, so let's see what else. They give me the word rejoice. You have made it far. It's time. Again, I keep getting pull back the reins. Okay, it's time to relax. And they're saying it's time to make sure that you understand that your happiness actually depends on you and your choices. Happiness means flow. Okay. So if you get to the point of something that stops blocking your flow, then you know it's time to kind of rethink things. Pull the reins back. Take a breather. Okay. So with that, I'm going to clarify too. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense to me here. So I get the victim card, the number 1 card, which is for fear in this specific deck. So I feel like you not pulling the reins back, there's a fear of falling victim, falling prey. Well, fear is like a shadow that can be much larger than what the actual fear, whether it's organic or false. That fear appears to be huge and wicked compared to probably what it is. Meaning, you know, it could be a mouse, but the shadow makes it look as if it's an elephant. So by you reining things back, you have to surrender and trust that they're saying you've been pushing all along. I mean, sometimes you've had to step back and really surrender. But for the most part, you're on high rev. So whoever this is talking to, just know that these fears are, what did they say? false expectations appearing real. Is that what that means? So, Aquarian, I don't want to beat a dead horse, so to speak, but it is time to pull the reins back. Get into some breathing exercises and know how truly divinely blessed you are to be, to have been a part of this project, to been the person to really take, I say pull back the reins. You've had the reins on this the whole time. So I hope that your end of the month September reading, Aquarians, has connected with you. And if it hasn't, please check your sun, moon, and rising sign. And feel free to cross listen to some of these, because the messages, you know, you may have a planet in something completely different, in a different house, you know, and you might need to hear a different message. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your fall is blessed. If you'd like to get a private,